Hey
Hello.
everyone, how are you all doing
Hello.
today? I hope your Monday has been awesome and great. Is the ServiceNow Knowledge 25 Recap Roundtable. So as you can see, a lot of people, so it's not fair just to have a session with one person about their one experience. So we would decided to do a roundtable today. To introduce myself, I am Kalisha Moore. My job title is a ServiceNow developer. I've been developing for about 1 year now, and this will be my second knowledge. And then my favorite part about knowledge is the in-person learning and the in-person connecting. I'm gonna allow Mo to introduce himself now. So go ahead, Mo.
All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Mo here. I'm based out in Rochester, Minnesota. I am a junior ServiceNow developer and a Rise Up with ServiceNow alum. One of my favorite things about going to Knowledge was the labs, but the people is really what I really wanted to connect with. The people that I have like gotten introduced to in the community through online, meeting them in real life. I'm excited to share. So yeah, that was me. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Kelly.
Tunde, would you like to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Awesome. Hi, everyone. My name is Akintunde, but most people call me Tunde because, let's be honest, Akintunde can be a mouthful. I am a ServiceNow implementation consultant and a platform enthusiast with a background that blends customer service, project coordination, change management, and workflow automation. I am a proud Rise Up with ServiceNow alum and an aspiring rising star and an active LinkedIn contributor where I share cert tips, lessons, and implementation wins. Outside of work, I'm also a devoted husband, a proud dad to a baby girl, and we're expecting a baby soon. I believe in betting on myself and rooting for others just as hard.
Thank you. Amazing intro. Rihanna, would you like to go ahead and introduce yourself? Oh, I think you're muted. We can't hear you. Jerry, is there anything on your end for
Nope,
Rihanna?
all looking okay on my end.
Okay. We're gonna wrap back around to Rihanna, but Madison, can you go ahead and introduce yourself for the people?
Hi, everyone. My name is Madison. I'm also a ServiceNow developer and a Rise Up alum. And I really enjoyed knowledge. Like Mo, I really enjoyed connecting with everybody. I really enjoyed listening to the different information sessions they had. So it was a really good experience.
Thank you. Lavanya, can you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hey everyone. I'm Lavanya. I'm a mom and a junior ServiceNow developer. I'm a proud Next Gen alumni. That's called Rise Up Now. And also a former IT employee. So coming back to career with ServiceNow, it's like a great thing. And my favorite thing about knowledge is like connecting to people in real. It's like I got to know about knowledge when I was an student in NextGen. So, but then I was like following people on LinkedIn. But going to knowledge, it's like the dream has come true. It's like I got to meet people I've been, watching on LinkedIn or following them for learning. It was great experience. And my favorite sessions are like the in-person knowledge, in-person learning, like the labs and the new features of ServiceNow. It was like great experience. I think every one of us has to go to knowledge at least once. So yeah.
I agree with you there. Jerry, would you like to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Thanks, Kelly. Yeah, so my name is Jerry Wong. I'm a ServiceNow product owner. And one of my favorite things is obviously going to Knowledge this year. Obviously, this is my second time going, which was quite special for me because obviously being recognized as MVP this year. So I was really, really grateful for the community for that recognition, but also that chance to connect with so many people within the community. I think everyone that I've met is so passionate about, in terms of learning service now, but also using service now, solving real problems in their workplace. So again, I love the energy within this community, but I love the energy and what people bring. So it's quite inspiring, but also I've come back really kind of with buzzing with ideas and excited to put something into action. Really, so that's me.
Thank you. Emma, would you like to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Emma Mitchell, and I am born and raised in Kenya. I loved going to knowledge and just meeting people, new people, especially like everyone in here is new that I've met, and I have had a very great experience just keeping those connections. My job title is a systems analyst with a primary focus on IT asset management and source to pay, which is a pretty new module of ServiceNow. The reason I went to knowledge was so that I can get more insight into the growth of source to pay.
Thank you. Chan, last but not least, but can you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hello, everyone. So I am currently a technical trainer, but prior to, I was a developer on the consulting side. I am indeed also a proud alumni of the Rise Up program. And I would say my favorite thing about knowledge is connecting with the community. 100% the community, connecting with you all in person. We spend so much time online, but yeah, it's the ability to connect in person that I love.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. We do a lot of connecting online and building those relationships and networking, but it's just the energy is just different when you're face to face with somebody. I want to go ahead and transition into our first segment, which is talking about why we even attended knowledge. So we have four speakers for this segment. And Jerry, I would love for you to start us off with your why for attending knowledge.
Yeah, sure. So, hi everyone again. I went to Knowledge. I think, as I mentioned, it's my second time. Not just to go and obviously meet people, but also to learn, but also to grow. It was really kind of a good opportunity for me this year because it was a chance for me to step out of my comfort zone because I've got involved in more of the community side. Took part in sessions, so being on a live panel, speaking at some of the events, but also be able to challenge myself and share some of my story as well, because I obviously had a little video that was created about me as well, about my journey in ServiceNow. But in terms of looking at some of the ideas as well that I can bring back to my organization, but also be able to challenge myself around what can we make better in the workplace. So it's really going to also help me build up my confidence because I'm not in terms of my public speaking, I'm still learning. So it's just a really good opportunity in that environment. So yeah, nice to meet you, everyone.
I think that's a great call out. And I also want to let other people know that people struggle with public speaking. It's not just something you learn the first time that you try it. And that in person connecting definitely helps you with building that articulation skill. I want to go back to Rihanna. And can you tell us your why for attending knowledge and also give us your intro? I cannot hear you.
Oh,
okay.
We get to some sound issues.
Yeah, there's some audio issues. It's okay. We'll have Rihanna back in case her audio doesn't start working today. But same question for you, Tunde. Why did you attend knowledge?
All right. Thank you so much. Hi again, everyone. I went to Knowledge 25 not because I had to, but because I wanted to invest in my growth and future in the ServiceNow ecosystem. I wasn't sent there by any company. I chose to be there. I self-sponsored my entire trip because I believe in showing up fully for the career I am building. And it paid off big time. From the powerful keynotes to the breakout sessions, every moment reaffirmed why I chose this path. I met with my Rise Up peers for the first time in person, a full circle moment. I reconnected with my mentor, Daniel, and I also met with one of my mentors in person for the first time, which is Glenn. Uh, and then there was the magic after hours with Glide Fest and New Rocket happy hours. Uh, there wasn't they weren't just events. They were reminders that this ecosystem is built on connections, kindness, and shared purpose. I left Knowledge 25 feeling seen, welcomed, and honestly, I don't know anyone that I met that wasn't genuinely um, friendly or happy to see me, uh, and 100% certain that I am in the right place. And next year, I will be there. I will be back, not just as not just as an attendee, but representing a company that saw in me what I first chose to believe in myself.
That's a great reason to go to Knowledge. And I'm believing with you that you'll be attending Knowledge with the support of a company next year. Mo, would you like to go ahead and tell us your why for attending Knowledge?
Absolutely. Thank you, Callie. Yeah, so going to Knowledge for me, it was personal. So I kind of told you guys earlier that I am from, a non-traditional background. Rise Up with ServiceNow last year was how I kind of got into the platform. And Knowledge is like the big Super Bowl. So that's what everyone says. And I had to be there in person, really get to pour back into the community that has done so much for me. Because the ServiceNow community, I just really want to emphasize how genuine and kind everyone is. And they're so willing to help you just along your journey. You just let them know, hey, I'm starting out. And then people will be, lending a hand up, like giving you a hand in whatever you need. Um, so being this was my first Knowledge, I'm not gonna lie, it was a little overwhelming. 25,000 people. I'm a social person, but that was a lot. The sessions were amazing. Doing the hands-on lab is something that I learned a lot from. That's why I really love Now University, because you are learning as you go doing those labs. And then the sessions, I think all of the sessions that I attended were amazing. I got to really see, the rise up people that I have been in my cohorts. I've done study sessions with Alan Andreas, Kali Alexander. I can name a few people who are just stand out in the community that I was excited to see again. And then the developer advocates are amazing as well. But it was just really good to be in the building and just absorb all of that energy. I left feeling like, okay, this is exactly where I want to be. I did not make a mistake, transitioning into this ecosystem. So that's where I went. It felt good. And just like Tunde said, we invested in ourselves. We did. It's a hefty little price, but we felt good paying for the plane, the hotel, and all of the expenses that we did. But yeah, I enjoyed it. So if anybody is out here thinking like, is it worth it? Did I get my bang for my buck? I definitely can tell you I did. So thank you, Callie.
No problem. Thank you. And this
Yep.
is not sponsored. ServiceNow isn't making us say any of this stuff. I can truly say I agree with Mo when I say that it is absolutely worth the hustle and the bustle and the money. So, Emma, I'm sorry. Would you like to go ahead and give us your why for attending Knowledge?
Sure. And thank you again. So for me, knowledge was a place to make new connections, make new friends, but also, as mentioned earlier, being working in source to pay, it's a pretty newer module, although gaining ground really, really fast. And so I wanted to go so that I can learn from other companies that may be implementing it or even looking into implementing source to pay with the intersections of IT asset management and other modules that relate with it. The most thing that I was also looking forward to is just being like where I am today, having a network that I can lean on to get support because, like I say, source to pay is a pretty new module. So I was struggling a little bit to find resources and a network to lean to when it comes to source to pay. So I appreciate the opportunity to have been there. My trip was partially sponsored, but I will say that if you're thinking about going next year, it's definitely worth every dollar that you spend. You get to make very good connections and you get to learn very good things. But also the party, the highlight for me was the party that I definitely was looking forward to. So I can't lie. Work hard, play hard.
I love it. Thank you, Emma. Now let's go ahead and transition into segment two, where we're going to talk about top sessions and key takeaways that you might have. I want to start with Rihanna. And whenever you come up, Rihanna, can you also give us your intro as well? I know we were having those audio issues.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Oh, thank God. It's the last.
Yay.
Hi everyone. Sorry about that. I was having audio issues, so I had to change out my equipment. But my name is Brianna. I am a senior ServiceNow HR analyst. I have been in the ecosystem on the technical side for about 3 years now. Did about 4 years on the operational side of ServiceNow. I would say the main reason why I went to Knowledge 2025 is because a lot of my work focuses around HRSD, and so I knew that there was a lot of HRSD focused sessions, and so I wanted to see what other companies were utilizing HRSD for and how they were implementing it, right? So I really went for that. But honestly, I really, really wanted to see the people that I had been talking to for a whole year, and I had never gotten to see in person. So I would say, again, besides the learnings, besides, connecting with different external people that also utilize ServiceNow, the biggest thing for me was seeing my team, right? Seeing their faces and just meeting everybody. And it really felt like we had known each other for years. So really excited about that. Planning again on seeing them in person in the future before KN 2026. So guys, we need to plan something. And so just to go into this session, to be quite honest, I don't really remember the different organizations that really spoke. But the one thing that I got out of the sessions that I did attend was really and truly like the need for governance, right? If any of you are, overseeing a knowledge base, or if you typically, create a knowledge article, it really does make you realize that there is a need for governance, right? When I joined my organization, the first thing that I was tasked to do was to clean up our knowledge base. And one thing that I realized was that, a lot of our articles that were outdated and contained outdated information was because we didn't have a governance structure, right? We had nothing that said, okay, if this article is vital, in 6 months, reach out to the ownership group, query with them. Is this something that needs to be updated? Is there information that is missing? And so it really made me realize the importance of governance. And again, in attending these different sessions, again, it made me realize that if you are in the ecosystem, you have to have some type of governance, some type of guardrail. We know AI is moving really fast. And so, in order for it to work ethically and in order for it to work in the way that we want it to work, we need to have some type of governance. So that was one major takeaway for me. Another takeaway for me was that when you're designing a service portal, or whether it be EC or EC Pro, there needs to be, can you guys see me?
No, we lost your video.
Today is my day, I
Here
guess.
you go.
So now it's just me. Hold on, let me turn it back on.
Okay.
Okay, there we go.
There we go.
Sorry. So when you are designing a service portal or you are designing EC or EC Pro, you don't want to just assume that you're designing it based on, what you think the user is going to like. You really want to have their input, right? So whether that be the surveys or, reaching out directly to the different people that utilize your platform, whether that be benefits or payroll or service delivery, you want to ask them what you want their different pages to look like, right? You don't want to just assume. So whenever you're designing or you're putting something together, again, whether that be a knowledge article, creating the service portal, EC or EC Pro, always design with your end users in mind. Thirdly, another takeaway for me was that, again, I know there's a lot of people that struggle with this. If you are having users that are reaching out to you via multiple channels, so whether that be Microsoft Teams, Slack, Discord, that's a terrible example because I know professional people typically don't utilize Discord in their organizations. But if you are having your users reaching out to you via multiple avenues, consolidate it, right? We have ServiceNow. We have this amazing tool. Again, you want to make sure before you pivot them into ServiceNow, you have something in place so you don't want to just cut them off. I know typically a lot of people, they have inbound actions in place where if you email a particular email alias, it'll create a case in ServiceNow. But slowly but surely, you want to, move them to utilizing ServiceNow. You want to give them the value of ServiceNow. Show them what ServiceNow can do. Show them how, hey, if you create a case via ServiceNow, you could get your answer in 5 minutes as opposed to 2 days, because things typically get lost via email. So besides, again, the different channels, just again, show your people like this is the reason why we implemented ServiceNow. It's expensive. So again, show them why ServiceNow was implemented, show them the best value. And yeah, that was my main takeaways. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All great points, especially not assuming when it comes to service portal development, especially getting the answers for what colors do you want, what images do you like, knocking those ones out the way from the beginning. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Lavanya.
Thank you.
Yeah. Lavanya, I want to pivot to you now. Can you share your top sessions and or takeaways from Knowledge 25?
Yeah, hey, thanks, Kelly. I've been waiting for this. My top sessions are like, there are a number of, it's not the sessions I'm more impressed about, is the sessions plus the demos. There are like a lot of labs to do for, beginners or even at the expert levels. We do have different demos. One of the demos is like building the AI agent, where we get to, build an AI agent to achieve a task. And a few of the other sessions are like demos by RapDev. It was so surreal because the demo involved a walking robo dog. If you all remember, it would be like scanning the people's badges and then giving the ratings for the people over there. So it was like I was like quite impressed because I really didn't expect ServiceNow to be doing this. I thought, did I go to ServiceNow conference or it's some kind of robotic, experience? So building AI agent, and it was so good. And my takeaways are like. I felt so welcome. So I would like to say a short story long how I went to ServiceNow, because it was so funny. But there was a company where they were giving away free ServiceNow conference passes, and I was like networking like crazy. So I got to see this post like they would be giving the free conference pass for whoever enters the contest. And I got selected just before 10 days before attending the knowledge. So it was like I was not sure what to expect. It was so overwhelming. Like I haven't planned. This is not planned. But then I took the opportunity, and I went to the conference, and then the amount of welcoming I felt over there is like the community I connected. Like at the end of day one, at the beginning of day one, I was like scared to death. But by the end of day one, when I got to connect people like you guys from, from Discord and from LinkedIn, it's like it was so welcoming. So as a first timer to knowledge, I think it's very important. For me, the key takeaway is like you have to show up. So just show up. Showing up is like you just gotta go. And after going there, I was like, I enjoyed the whole experience is like uh, building the projects. Like and one of the top things is like I get to participate in the hackathon, which I didn't even plan or didn't expect. It was like 8 hour coding session. It's like from evening 4 o'clock to 12 o'clock. It's like I didn't really expect. And cherry on top, our project got entered into one of the finalists in the hackathon in the UI builder category. So I was over the top, over the cloud nine. um yeah, I think that's pretty much it. It's just like you have to show up. So it's overwhelming overwhelming for me even now. The experience is surreal. Yeah. And it's also I get to meet a lot of people, a lot of companies. I was wondering like how many partners are there for ServiceNow. So it's like as a person who is still looking for job, um, it's a very good exposure for me to see that who are the ServiceNow partners whom I can connect to and what are my interests. So when I went there, it's a very good opportunity to explore how ServiceNow is being implemented in each and every partner and how many partners are there. It's like there's always a way out using ServiceNow. So yeah.
Thank you. So like not only did Rihanna go to learn more in the HRSD realm, but Lavanya went to connect and also give this early access to new features. Like the AI agents still aren't available like through PDI
Yeah.
for everybody to go and play with. But if you attend knowledge, you get like labs and demos on the new features that's coming out. Madison, I want to go ahead and give the floor to you. What are your top sessions and or takeaways from Knowledge 25?
Thank you. So one of my favorite sessions was one titled "Shaping the Future with the Playground for Learning." And as a developer, I really liked that session because it highlighted how important it is to make learning and developing and those things like that more fun. It can be really stressful when you're trying to make something and it's not working and you've been spending a lot of time doing it. But just reframing your mindset around those kind of more difficult tasks and making it more enjoyable. It was really interesting how the science behind how that prevents burnout and it's like a joyful repetition and it makes things a little bit better and more enjoyable. And then one of the other takeaways was, like you said, it highlighted the importance of the AI agents that we'll be implementing soon. Very cool stuff, but I think it's important that as members of the ecosystem, we are beginning to embrace some of these new changes. I know with each new not instance, but each new iteration of ServiceNow that we get, there are new features. So it's important to, be welcoming to those and mindful of how you can implement them into your day-to-day task.
I 100% agree because I believe companies can't have at least more than two of the past releases on their instance, something like that. So we like it's up to us, the developers on the platform or whoever's on the back end, to make sure we know how to use all of these new functionalities, being that our company has to stay up to date with the releases that come out. So great
Very
point.
true.
We're going to go ahead and get into segment 3, which is what are we applying from something we may have learned or a takeaway from knowledge. I want to start off with Rihanna for this segment. What are you applying from knowledge?
Nothing. No, all seriousness though. So we know for all of those for us that attended, we know the main thing that everyone was talking about was AI, right? AI agents, agentic AI, now assist. And so I honestly, my main takeaway was that my organization, our current platform, the current state of our platform, we needed to do a little bit of like a foundational cleanup before preparing for AI. But also, we haven't been using all of the features attached to HRSD, right? So for me, my main thing when I went back was listen, yes, AI is great. It's cool, but we're not ready for it. And so I think eventually for sure, we are in a service portal. So we are migrating to EC Pro FY 2026. And so I think the first step for us is maybe implementing Now Assist once we get virtual agent. But as of right now, we're not ready for it. And so we're implementing nothing. So that is the honest truth. We need to maximize what we already have. And then once we've done that, then we could look forward to adding something else.
I love that. I love the honesty. And you always want to set your company up for success, and having a good foundation is the first step to being successful. Now,
Absolutely.
Jerry, I want to ask you the same thing. What are you applying at your company from things you've learned at Knowledge?
Actually, I'm going to copy Rihanna because and we're exactly in the same position. We've had obviously, in our organization, we've had our ServiceNow instance since 2009. So it's quite an old instance. So if you can imagine, there's probably a lot of custom scope apps that's been developed. But I think I think Rihanna makes a really good point. It's looking at our foundations. I think, you mentioned around, that governance, that guardrails, and we need to have good foundational data, because what I always think is whatever you put in, the data you put in, then you're going to get good data out. But if you put rubbish data in, and you have unstructured data, then by putting AI, it's not going to help see the value. So for me, kind of again, what we're applying, it's really great to see what's coming out of Knowledge. With agentic AI, it was great to build your own AI agents. We are looking to have something like Pro Plus, so which is IT service management. So we're going to have like a few trial there just to have a play around with analysis, case summarization, create knowledge articles, just really kind of getting our foot onto that door. So I think in some sense, it's just making sure that from our organization, we're learning to see what those new capabilities look like, but at the same time, focusing on those platform fundamentals, like Rihanna said. So that's what we're applying in, and So thank you.
Thank you. Mo, same thing for you. What are you applying from some things you learned or any takeaways you had from Knowledge?
Yeah, absolutely. So first, like the thing about knowledge was, it was all about AI. I think my thing was, the difference between generative AI and agentic. I was not sure. I thought like, okay, it's all the same. They're all chat GPT, right? But
Yeah.
actually, but so agentic is, so chat GPT is, generative. It's waiting for you for an input. Agentic is more so, it's like anticipating. And that was really cool to kind of that click. But no, the thing that I'm taking away from knowledge, honestly, is so at the end of this year, I'm planning on starting a YouTube kind of series of building with my people. So building, on the platform. And I really, like I said, those people that inspired me is like, Callie Alexander and Ellen Andrea, seeing them in action, the storytelling, how they actually speak, and, what they do, that's kind of like inspiring. And like also the developer advocate, all those people on stages, just seeing, take, it's okay to take your time, really make sure you're what's like you're telling a story. So making sure that you give the problem, you show the steps, and then give the solution. That's something that I'll be taking with me, and I really they inspired me a lot. So that's what I will be planning on taking in, and saying yes to things like this, really getting the practice in. The nerves are still nerving, but just one step at a time. So thank you. That's what I got.
Good plug too, because at Knowledge there aren't just technical sessions. There are also sessions that'll help you with any content creation or like your social presence as well. So if you need some help in that area and you're also interested in attending Knowledge, they're usually in the Creator Con section. So don't sleep on the Creator Con section. That's my favorite section at Knowledge. All right. Lavanya, I want to ask you what you are applying now since Knowledge has ended.
Yeah, Kali. I completely agree with what Mo has said earlier. It's like I've got to learn a lot of new things. One is the definitely the agentic AI and generative AI. It's like for a layman, AI is just it's not just AI. It's like they are different things. It was so. I didn't expect that for both the things to be different. So there are certainly definitely a lot of things that I've learned there, technically too, apart from connecting with people. But I've also met many people from different countries. So Jerry's from UK. I was thinking like he was from US, but he was from UK. And I've met a lot of MVPs from India too. So I was actually not surprised, but it's so good that people travel so far just to share their knowledge, share their experiences, and to learn new things. And then after coming back from knowledge, I was slowly started realizing, like, I've been following them again on LinkedIn. I slowly started realizing that what is that thing that made those people the MVPs or rising stars. It's always something, we grasp something and we put it to action. So when I read their posts, like the learnings, and how they are putting whatever they have learned in knowledge, or not just in knowledge, like all the technical details, or they pick up a use case, they pick up a use case, give a solution to the problem, and how they are using, and what features they are using in ServiceNow, all of them jotted down a single post. It's like it gave me a, a point to think that we should really understand, we should get a very big the high level understanding of a use case or a thing, then putting that thing into action, like using ServiceNow and implementing technically, it's like so good. uh, Achieving something, putting the real life thing into technical thing, and achieving the solution for that problem. It's like uh, it's, yeah, it's definitely something. So um I really took that thing, like what is this kept me thinking again how I can improve myself, like what is that thing that made those people MVPs, like in technical, how they are thinking, how they are implementing the things, or how they are learning, how they're embracing the new things. That is definitely one thing I should learn. So I'm trying to uh, you know um, follow the same thing, and it would help me more, um, to learn more about ServiceNow. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Putting yourself in a position where you're sharing knowledge
Yeah.
helps you learn about the platform as well, because you want to be well versed in whatever you're sharing your knowledge about. Great
Yes.
point. Chan, I want to go to you now and ask you what you're applying from Knowledge 25.
Thank you, Kelly. So for me, and Rihanna touched on it, so did Madison, and so did Mo. So, and that's essentially, being okay with utilizing AI in my day to day. I've used it to study, of course, but I want to take it a step further. Go a little bit deeper, and essentially, I want to see how it can help me in my current role, right? Because as a technical trainer, one, I need to be prepared. Students are definitely going to have questions. I want to be able to point them in the right direction for resources. And I love that Madison shared about ServiceNow University because, yes, there's been this whole, do over, makeover. It looks amazing. There's this whole gamification around learning. And I think that's amazing because as we're learning, community definitely plays an important part in that. But also knowing that the resources are there, I log on, I take those same courses, right? We don't have to always know the answers, and a lot of the times we might not. It's just essentially being okay with that, being comfortable with that, and knowing that ServiceNow University, the community, and SNPDG, all of these communities are there to essentially support us on this journey as we continue to grow and adopt things like AI. So I'm definitely challenging myself. I am. My personality is to keep control, and I don't want to think of things in terms of me giving up that control and relying so much on AI, but it's there. I want to embrace it a bit more, and essentially see how it can just make me even that much more efficient and excellent in my current role. So yeah, that's one of my biggest takeaways that I'm applying, challenging myself to adopt AI a little bit more in my day to day, and as it pertains to my role.
Thank you. And I think it's really good that you have that mindset around AI. And like Mo mentioned, agentic AI, it can be created to be very specific to what you needed to do. So during the AI building lab slash demo, you had the prompts, and the prompts were, if you guys like read them, they were very, very specific on what the agent needed to do, whether that needs to be get a human involved so that a human can analyze this, or proceed with some certain steps that you have already predetermined for the agent to do. So it can be agentic AI feature can be customized to what you needed to do, even if you just need a buddy, as you're developing. It doesn't have to be so like set in a standard, and it doesn't just pull things out of thin air like ChatGPT does. Now, moving into segment 4, we want to talk about any tips for first timers or how to prepare for attending the Knowledge Conference. I want to start off with Tunde here. What are your tips for first timers, or how do you think you should prepare for Knowledge?
All right, so I would go over tips that I was given as a first timer also, and I've also added a couple of more. So first off, I'm looking at my other screen because I made a list. So most importantly, plan your sessions ahead. The agendas fill up really fast, and you need to plan what events you're going to be attending. Second, pack smart, especially since it is Vegas. It is hot, and that is me coming from Nigeria. Well, I've been in Canada for a few years now. So talk to strangers. Don't be afraid to talk to strangers. Walk up to strangers, start a conversation. Even if it is as simple or as little as, how is the weather today? That can just be the connection you need. For instance, I had breakfast with someone. I did not know who he was. It turns out he was a director at ServiceNow. So don't skip the after events. Definitely hit. We've worked hard. We party hard. So don't skip on the any after party event parties. Use the apps and social hashtags. Ask questions. Speakers love questions. Don't be afraid to approach them after sessions for meetups. You may just be surprised who or what you may learn from that person. Capture moments. Take a lot of pictures. I know my crew and I took a whole lot of pictures. Trust me. Pictures are a form of memories that you take along with you. Then last but not the least, be yourself. You belong there. Whether you are brand new to ServiceNow or years in, there's a space for you at the table. Own it. You worked hard to be where at Knowledge, so act like you belong there, which is the mindset I went with. I came prepared. More and a few of my friends would attest to that. Lean in, show up, and shine. My wife always tells my daughter when she's going to school, I love you, shine. That is actually the mindset I took there. I went there to shine, and I'm happy I did.
Great response. Great tips, Tunde. And I just want to plug this in. When Tunde says come prepared, and don't be afraid to speak to anyone, Tunde actually had his own business cards for Knowledge, and he was passing them around, making the connections. So he is very the tips that he shared are very true and very useful for you next year. All right, Emma, I want to pivot to you. What are your tips for first timers, and how would you say is the best way to prepare for the conference?
Thank you again. And I'm going to try not to repeat what everybody else said, but it's the same things that for most people that most people have said. One thing that I want to say that you have to try and do before you even attend the conference is make it intentional to network. What are you trying to get out of the conference? And based on what you're trying to get out of the conference, people are posting that they're going to attend the conference. Find those people that are in the space that you're trying to get into, introduce yourself, let them know that you're also going, and then look for them when you get at the conference. That's my number one tip for just being able to network intentionally. The other part is good shoes. You are going to walk. I think I lost enough pounds. I ate a lot, but I think I also lost a lot of pounds walking back and forth between my hotel and just everywhere that I had to go to each session. So bring good shoes and have some water on you. Pack very light at the conference itself, and also just going, because while at the conference you're going to walk a lot, so you do not want to be carrying around heavy stuff. Plus you're going to get a lot of swag, so you want a backpack that you can use to put in all your swag. Try to download the apps early enough, so that you have them ready to go when you get to the conference. um, the most important thing is be intentional about learning. If you went out there to learn, a notebook helps you take notes. I'm a visual person, and I love to take notes. So within the app itself, you can take notes, but also I'm just traditional, so I'll always have a notebook with me. The other part that I would also say is come to have fun. I cannot tell you how much fun I enjoyed in regards to, especially the being at the sphere. One, it was just phenomenal for me, but also just being able to connect with the other people that we had been, really working hard to learn, but then at the end of the conference, just being able to let loose and enjoy ourselves. I think that it's okay to work hard, but also it's okay to very much have some self-care and have fun. So make use of those parties and enjoy yourself. Lastly, just make sure that you are eating good, and you're getting fed, because there will be a lot of food. So make sure to eat. There's enough to eat at the time at lunchtime, but it's also enough to also be able to just carry around a snack if you need to. Bring some snacks. I did that. And then if you're going, make sure that you are, if you're trying to look for roommates, if let's say you're paying for yourself, try and make those connections early, before even as early as now, before even that time comes. That way, you are targeting those people that you feel can be maybe people you can share rooms with, or you can be able to sit at the same table, so that you feel like it's 20,000 people plus. So it's a very big audience. And for somebody like me, that takes a little bit of a while before I build that trust. It was important that I start early to make those connections. That way I don't get there and I get in my cocoon, because you're there and you have 20,000 opportunities, that go span to 20,000 people. You definitely don't want to walk away without getting anything out of it. Lastly, the biggest takeaway for me, out of the conference, was the quote from Bill McDermott, that you cannot solve 21st century problems with 20th century architecture. So the same way, you cannot go to the conference that has 20,000 people and you walk away without making a connection. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Madison, what are your tips for first timers, and how would you prepare for the conference next year?
Thanks. So I would say, similar to what everybody else has said, definitely utilizing the app to plan out the sessions that you want to attend. They do fill up really quickly. So if somebody drops one, you're able to quickly kind of change that around. It was really helpful. Also, doing a little bit of prep work before you go is a good idea. So looking up different companies, or people that you want to connect with, will really help you plan out your days, and you can schedule times to meet up with different people and like have those conversations. Another thing that some people touched on as well is just being really personable. I met a lot of people just like waiting in some lines or waiting at breakfast or lunch or something, and just being able to make connections that way. So yeah, it was really a good experience. It's a lot of people, like everybody's mentioned, and it's a really big just space. So it's easy to get overwhelmed, but going in there with a little bit of a plan of what you want to accomplish, or just I would jot down like 3 things I wanted to do that day just to kind of be mindful of how I'm spending my time. But yeah, it was a really good experience overall.
Thank you. Yeah, I definitely would add that you have to be intentional but flexible because things change or conversations might get too long and now you've missed a session. But just pivot if that happens. I know Tunde mentioned taking pictures, and I heard this last year, but the pictures that you take can be used in your follow up messages. I'm not sure if many people did that, but whenever you connect with somebody, you may add them on LinkedIn. And then maybe the next week, you're like, oh, I really want to talk to this person again, but they may not remember me. If you took a picture with them, you could send that and say like, hey, I met you. I'm not just a random person. We met at Knowledge. I would love to talk, yada, yada, yada. Another thing is the location of the conference was inside of like a hotel. So there were many places to like stop, get something to drink. So like the coffee chats that we quote unquote do virtually is something you can actually do in person, and they don't have to be long. It can literally be as you're waiting in the line, because it may be a 15-minute wait to get to the register. So there's room for that. And then also after day one, I think it's really important that you just be mindful of what companies are there on the floor. And then, go to their company sites that night, see if any of them are hiring. If you're in that, transition phase or you're trying to look for a role, I think that's a very good opportunity for you to make those in-person connections and say, hey, I actually applied for this job. You never know if there's an opportunity for an in-person interview. All right. And now I'm going to pass it to Mo. He has some tips for first timers or how to prepare for your conference as well.
Yeah, thank you, Callie. I was just gonna add, and you just mentioned it, but so for people who are in that transition phase, having your resume ready to go, like with PDF, just airdrop it, would be a good thing. And then also like having your pitch, whether it be the elevator pitch, like, hi, my name is Mo, I'm a junior ServiceNow developer, I work with playbooks, I work with UI builder, dot dot dot. Have that kind of stuff ready to go, so when you meet these recruiters, you can have that going. I would also say, like, if you are, when you're on the expo floor, there is a lot of like what are they called, stands whatever, the stands or whatever that you could go to. There's some big companies, but also don't forget about those smaller companies too. If you go to them, they actually will have more time to talk with you than some of the ones that are so big, because there's lines. So just kind of putting yourself out there is definitely the biggest thing. Show up and show out. Just everybody's super welcoming, so don't be afraid to make those connections. Like when you're in line, I think everybody was saying that. That's really, really good advice. But yeah, it can be overwhelming. Don't forget to take those breaks, drink your water, and take little mental health breaks for yourself, because you don't want to be burnt out. It is a 3-day event. I think for me, I was like, so picking your schedule out is really, really important. Don't do what I did. I did so many labs on the first day. I think I attended 5 labs, and then still try to make time for the expo floor and sessions. So I got back to the hotel, and I was just drained, and I was just like, oh my god, and I still have Wednesday and Thursday to go through. So just be mindful of yourself and kind of space things out so you are still able to be ready to go at any moment. So thank you, Callie. Those are the things I wanted to add.
Yeah, I think that was a great way to wrap it all up. Now we have like a little slideshow of the pictures. And as you're watching the slideshow, if you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the chat, or I'm sorry, in the comment section. And right after we finish up with the slideshow, we'll share the link to all of the recorded sessions, and we'll do a Q&A if anyone has any questions. So without further ado, Jerry, you can go ahead and play the slideshow, and then we'll do a Q&A afterwards. All right, cute little slideshow. The experience is the experience at Knowledge is way better than the pictures. I know some of the pictures kind of come out blurry, or some people aren't all the way like smiling or something. But it's the excitement of just being in the moment that makes it all worth it. So I don't believe we have any questions. And yeah, refresh the chat. I don't think we have any questions. So now we just want to drop the link to ServiceNow's recordings of some of the sessions. So all of the sessions at Knowledge aren't recorded, but the ones that are, you can find them at this link. And Mo, I'm going to ask if you can drop this link. I'll put it in our private chat. And I'm going to ask if you can drop it in the LinkedIn chat because I don't have the LinkedIn Live up.
No problem.
Thank you. All right. So you're going to get the link to the recordings from Knowledge. And I will say that I am so grateful for you all for joining this session. Thank you so much to the speakers. Thank you, Jerry, Chan, Madison, Tunde. Thank you, Mo. Thank you, Lavanya. Thank you, Rihanna. And thank you, Emma. All of the tips were really good. All of the takeaways were great. And I am genuinely looking forward to Knowledge next year.
Thank you, Kelly.
Same here. Thank you, Callie.
No problem.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Kelly. Thank you, Julie.
Thank you all for attending.
Bye.
Bye.